Okay, this is kind of the 5.5 vocabulary section. Okay, so I sent, and I'll make sure that I send out another a video to everybody about the vocabulary, just to make sure that you guys have all this stuff. But here's what we're talking about as far as vocabulary goes. So in this one, a monomial is an algebraic expression that consists of one term. Okay, a monomial is a whole bunch of things. There's a whole bunch of things that it can be. It can be a variable, so it could be just x. It can be a real number, any number that we want to be, a combination of both. So when you start talking about a combination, that's where we see this all the time. So there's an example of it. Here are two other examples. Okay, all these are monomials. Notice that an algebraic term is always separated by add or subtract signs. So that's why this is not. This is not a monomial because there are two terms. There's a term here and a term here. So it's just going to be each individual one there. The next thing is the degree of a variable. The degree of a one variable in a monomial is the exponent of that variable. So in this one, x to the fourth. So that means it's degree 4. This one has a fourth exponent, so that's there. The natural log of x to the third is degree 3. So the degree is just going to be the exponent. Now, when we start putting together a polynomial, okay, it's an algebraic expression consisting of the sum of monomials. So we have 3 monomials here. This is in standard form, saying that it goes from the highest exponent down to no exponent. Now, when we start talking about the degree of a polynomial, it's the greatest degree among the monomial terms. So as I look at this one, this has degree 2, this has degree 1. This doesn't have anything, so it's degree 0. The degree of this polynomial ends up to be 2 because that's the greatest exponent. Now, if I have this one, again written in standard form, highest to lowest, 5, 3, 2, because the 3 is here, that's going to be degree 3. This one, excuse me, degree 5, because it's a 5, it's going to be degree 5. This one right here, this is not in standard form. I would almost always tell you to, it's almost always easier to then write it into standard form. And then you can easily, quickly decide that this is degree 5. Now, the other part of vocabulary that's really important is for us to talk about the leading coefficient. The leading coefficient is the coefficient is a number that goes along with the x's and the y's. Okay, so it's going to be the number that goes along with the variable. Leading meaning first. So in this case, the leading coefficient of this, you always want to write in standard form. The leading coefficient is 7. If I have this particular polynomial, the leading coefficient is 1, degree is 5. So if I have another one, so let's say I have 4x to the third plus 2x squared minus 6. The leading coefficient, because this is in standard form, the leading coefficient is 4, the degree is 3. Let's say that I mess with you, so I put negative 1/4 x to the third plus 9x to the fifth minus 18x to the third plus 3x to the sixth. So the first thing I do when I see this, and I'm gonna make this one a second power. Sorry, I didn't want to have two of the same. So when I see this, I want to put this in standard form. That means the highest exponent is going to go first. So that's this term. So it's 3x to 6 goes first. This one will go next. We're using the sign that's right in front of it. Okay, the third is ahead of this, so minus 1/4 x to the third minus 18x squared. All right, so that makes 3 the leading coefficient, and that makes 6 the degree of the polynomial. All right, standard form, arrange it in order. So as you can see right here, the second part is greatest. So I'm gonna make sure that I put that first. Make sure that you take that sign with you. Now, obviously, when you write a number out in front, you don't have to worry about putting that number there. So I'm gonna put this 9x squared goes first, 3x will go next to 5. Now, 9 is a coefficient, 3 is a coefficient, 5 is a constant. So the leading coefficient of this happens to be 9, the degree is 2. As I look at this one, okay, these two are alike, so I can put those together. And then I'll put them, once I do that, I want to look to see where I'm at. This has a power of 5, so that's going to go first. Power of 2, next. No exponent, last. Leading coefficient is -4, degree is 5. And now an explanation of what the leading coefficient is. Okay, leading coefficient is coefficient in front of the term with the greatest degree. All right, so if I look at this one, these two, third and second power, 9. This means that this is the degree. This is the leading coefficient. All right, now the other part about this is talking about what type they are. And this is right out of your book. So an example is just a whole number that has a degree 0 because it has no variable. The degree always attaches with the variable. That's called a constant, and in this case it's just one term, it's monomial. X plus 4, okay? The degree is 1. That makes it linear. And there are two terms separated by one add sign. That makes it a binomial, bicycle. This next one, 1, 2, 3 terms, trinomial. It's in standard form. This is degree, so it's degree 2. This is a quadratic. And here we go with the next. 3x x to the third plus 4. Okay, 2 terms, binomial. Degree is 3. That's called a cubic. Trinomial here, 3 terms. Biggest exponent is 4. Since standard form, biggest exponent is 4. Quartic. Biggest exponent is 5. Quintic. 2 terms, binomial. Okay, I think that's a good example of what the vocabulary was for this. I'll make sure I send you guys this one, and then I'll send you guys a couple more here coming on.